This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
8:07 on this 11th day of November. It's 11/11/2024. Welcome to the second hour of Kenya's biggest conversation. This is the Situation Room. Asante sana for joining us. For the next 1 hour, we're going to be talking about wealth, planning, legacy planning, wealth transfer. We're going to talk about, getting the best personal banking services anywhere in East and Central Africa, south of the Sahara, north of the Limpopo. And we're joined by Abraham Ongenge. Abraham is you don't know anyone called Abraham, but in this country you stand up. Cococho.
Is it now we are standing?
Yeah.
Oh,
we stood.
Oh yeah, we did. It's true. It's true. We did.
That's why we stood.
That's why we stood up.
We've got Abra K. Now we've got Abra who?
Ebra O.
Abraham Ongenge is the head of personal and private banking at Stanbic Bank, Kenya. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome, Your Excellency. This is the hot seat of the Situation Room.
I have ambitions to become an excellency at some point.
Yes. This is the platform that launches you.
Thank you.
Karibu sana. You will tell us what's the difference between personal and private banking.
Okay.
You will tell us. Yeah? And that will be the first question. No, that will be the second question. The first question will be, what's your interpretation of this proverb? So listen to the proverb. The gentleman has been going to where and where? South of the Sahara, north of the Limpopo.
Yes.
Last week we were in the DRC.
Yes.
Okay.
That's where we were.
Describe the region where we are this week.
This country has very many neighbors. It has a neighbor that had the longest coastline on the continent. It has a neighbor whose name begins with an E. It has a neighbor whose name begins with an S. He has another neighbor whose name begins with a U, another one begins with a T. And then, just to give you a hint, there's a water body on its eastern coast. Which country is this?
Two neighbors whose name begins with S.
Yes.
I think that's 254. That must be Kenya.
Can only be.
It can only be.
That's very good. This gentleman did not waste time in his geography classes. Somebody would have taken us to Egypt. Then would have been wondering how Egypt got into East Africa.
In their mind, anything is possible.
Chui hakumbatiwi.
First of all, what's your translation of that to English?
Okay, so first of all, Chui is a leopard. So I think it probably says a leopard cannot be embraced. That's my interpretation, direct interpretation into English.
Okay, what do you think that means?
So if I kind of think about the whole chronology, Chui is from the cat family.
Yes.
And it's probably a dangerous cat. So effectively to me it says, don't take yourself to the cleaners. You'll be eaten alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't go around looking for
Trouble.
that animal has a bad temper.
Yeah.
Well,
That's how as a human being, that's how I interpret it. Maybe the leopard looks at human beings and says, these guys are such busybodies.
yeah, just leave me alone.
Why can't we just leave you alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, leave me alone.
I'm just wondering
not
what my business
bothering
is. Why
you.
must you come near me?
I just want to hang out in a tree, eat an antelope here and there.
Yes.
Leave me alone.
Yes.
Or come grab your
Your
dog.
goats and sheep and dogs. But that is when you've encroached my territory.
Exactly.
You've cut my trees.
If I was in the neighborhood
That would be different.
and your dog starts barking at me,
I was merely passing by.
yeah. And if I eat that dog, what's the problem? I'm just getting rid of my problems.
It announces
It's
its
your
presence.
problem.
Hey. Okay, that's a good interpretation. So, personal and private banking.
Yeah.
What's personal, what's private? And which part of private is personal?
All right. So there's part of private that's personal, but it also kind of starts to answer two questions. Underlying those two questions is ambition. So, personal understands that you are ambitious, but you are a beginner. So, when you are ambitious, but you are a beginner, come, let's deal with you personally.
One-on-one.
One-on-one.
Okay.
And let's start harnessing your ambitions.
Okay.
Now, private is that you are moving more to kind of meet your life desires. But you still want to be valued. And therefore, we then tell you, let's deal with you privately. Your needs might be a bit unique. So let's deal with you a little bit privately. So personal, let's help you with their ambitions. Private is that you know what you want. Let's deal with you privately because your needs are unique.
How do I qualify as private? Is it the amount of money that I have with you? Is it the
things
watch
that I
I'm
want to do.
wearing? Is it the level of my ambition? What is it?
So underlying private is really ambition to do what I would say 4 things. One is that you don't want a bank, but you want banking. So we then say to you, how do we help you bank easily? Second is that you want to plan. So you've created some wealth. You want to plan about that wealth in case you have any uncertainties. So let's actually help you plan wisely. Then we also think that you want to make more. So you want to invest. So we bring in the skill of how you invest skillfully. Then lastly, but not necessarily the least, is that you also want to live. And we then tell you, let's help you live joyfully. So that's really the person we are inviting into private banking. So if you have any of those, if those kind of talk to you, then you qualify to private banking.
I see. So it's private is more personal than personal.
Right.
Yeah.
Private has a personal element to it.
It's more personal.
You know, everything you say points to my having resources, and not just meager resources, an abundance of resources. What if my resources are not abundant?
Yeah, it leads you to a space where you say growth is important because everyone would want some extension of your resources. I don't want to call them meager because every one of us has worked for the resources they have. So we also think about empowerment, and we bring empowerment into the lives of our clients. Now, if you say I have meager resources, so not where I want to be, then we then tell you how do we partner with you to grow your wealth. How do we ensure that those resources, the 1,000, the 2,000, becomes the 10,000, then the 100,000, then a million. And what that means is that we build it both on education. We build on your firsts. So your first home, your first car, your first piece of property. We then assist you to start building that wealth so that down the road, it's no longer meager. It's something substantial.
I mean, so even if as we get into some of these things, it's just occurred to me that in order to establish where an individual is by the time they're coming to you, that means that you're going to have some conversations in terms of where they are. So it's got to be that personal touch. So is that what we're saying? That you really are starting a journey where you're having a one-on-one with individuals. I mean, 20 years ago, that never happened with your bank.
Yeah.
You put money in the bank, you do the thing, you get out. Nobody's having a conversation about anything.
Yeah. And banking has actually evolved. And underlying the whole business of banking, if you think about it, is that when you put money into a bank, the simple message you're making is that I trust that institution. So the whole business of banking is actually a business of trust. And what that means is that the person seated on the other side has to be a world-class trusted advisor. And that's why, to help you properly fit into the quadrants of where your journey is at, we've kind of created world-class trusted advisors who then partner with you with your financial journey. Different people are in different phases.
Yeah.
And we have to fit specifically into what is relevant for your own ambitions, but also for the level of resources you have. Yeah.
I guess you have different products for personal banking, for private banking. Maybe you can use that to show us the difference. At what point, when someone comes for personal banking, what kind of accounts do they open? What kind of relationships do they get? When someone comes for private banking, what kind of accounts do they open? What kind of relationships do they get?
Okay. So if I speak about personal banking, you are on the go.
Yeah.
You need value for money. For whatever you earn, you need value for money. So for personal banking, first we have to make sure that you are actually banking easiest. So we kind of create digital capabilities for you to be able to transact as quickly as possible, but we reduce the cost to serve. So you don't have to pay that Uber, pay that taxi to get into a branch to be served. You can actually serve on the go. But we also understand you have lending needs, and in some instances, you probably will be in between your revenue streams.
Yeah.
So we offer you short tenor type advances to say, let me bridge you to your next income. We also understand you want to start with your firsts. So you want to own your first home. So what we do is that we then partner with teams that have been able to reduce the cost of home ownership, such as KMRC, to provide affordable housing. Interestingly speaking, that product provides housing at rates as low as single digit for people who want home of firsts.
How much is Stanbic offering for the KMRC loans?
9.5%. For 25 years, fixed. So regardless of what those rates are going to be at next year, the other year, for 25 years.
Fixed at 9.5.
Fixed at 9.5%. Now, you then move and you say you've been ambitious, you have become successful, you are now moving more into the space where you have created some wealth. You probably have owned your first home, you've owned your first car, but now you're thinking, where would my children get their school fees? How do I plan for my next education? How do I plan for maybe the things I want to pass on to my children going forward? We introduce you to private banking.
Okay.
So we tell you, look, you do need to partner with someone. So personal banking, you'll see yourself doing a lot of those things. So private banking, we say, you can still do the things you are doing while you are in personal banking. But we now attach with you a trusted world-class private banker. And when I talk about this world-class private banker, a lot of investment around their skill. So certified in investments, certified in insurance, certified in retail banking, so that they bring the holistic piece around how do I match your ambitions, your personal values to the financial journey that you have. So in private banking, we introduce you more to a much more connected thinking around your financial journey, and grow you consistently in a manner that's always safe.
Do I have to be a long-term banker with Stanbic to get into private banking?
No.
Can I open a private banking account today? What do you call the account?
It's called a private banking account.
Very good. Can I open one like just today? I'm listening to this and I'm like, all right, that sounds like something I could do.
Yes. Because we also realize that people are in different journeys, and you probably had taken a journey with a certain financial institution somewhere else. You think, yes, I think I like this. Get onto our website, put in your request, and we get back to you with a world-class private banker coming to you and telling you, how do I take you forward from a journey?
Abraham, I think we're living in very interesting times economically, whether we're looking at whether the nation is on a downward spiral or trying to pick up economically. I think it's very interesting that we're having this conversation today because the headline on one of the papers today talks about broke Kenyans are being forced to steal because they don't have. And I'm linking that with some of the things that you're speaking about today. And some of the things that we've been speaking about the last couple of days. We were talking about banking easily, living joyfully, investing skillfully and planning wisely. And if we make a link between, a lot of times when we think about saving and investment, the assumption is that I need to have 10 million shillings or that I need to have 5 million or whatever. But the majority of the folks for whom we would say we're going to put something aside, 500 shillings is an uphill task. So how can we do these things from a private banking point of view with very little in terms of resources?
And certainly we run different cycles in economies. This particular one kind of seeming tough in the season where we are in, and that's why our pillar kind of combines these four to say that let's not give up living joyfully, let's not give up banking easily, let's not give up investing skillfully and planning wisely in the whole context. There's a piece around how we think about private banking that enables us combine this. So you've talked about this private banking account. We realize when someone gets into private banking is that you have some income stream, but how do we protect that amount that you have put right from the time go? So the private banking account has an income protect insurance. So what we are saying is that we know right now you have some resources, but how do we put in an income protect? Whether it's a retrenchment cover for those who are salaried or an income protect insurance for those who have income from businesses. Now, that might sound a small amount to it that you are kind of putting in. But think about this season where incomes are not as certain. The income protect insurance comes to you and says, look, we will pay you some certain amount for a certain period of time until you get yourself back up. Now, there's also the piece of the resources are small. So there's a person with the 10 million shillings, there's a person with 1,000 shillings. How do we think about the person with 1,000 shillings and provide a decent return for that amount? So we then introduce investment solutions such as a money market fund that guarantees you, that provides you a return that's almost double digit, very different from what you would get if you had put 1,000 shillings in a savings account. So we kind of give you an alternative to say you have a smaller amount, but how can we enhance your yield depending on where interest rates.
So there is space for somebody who has what we would say is small, but it's huge for others. So
it's huge.
Space.
It's huge, and we appreciate the ambitions of our customers to say, even for that small, let that money work for you.
Abraham, talk a little bit more about the income protect.
Okay.
All right. So introduce it like, you're talking to somebody who's never heard about it. What is it?
All right. So if you open a transacting account, one of the things that institutions will tell you is that there is a service fee.
Yes.
Sometimes our customers would choose to say, we don't want an account that has a service fee. We just want an account that I pay when I use.
Paper use.
Yeah, paper use. There are some who would say, I would want to take a bundled account that has only one fee, then everything else is included in that fee. So for the account that has a bundled fee, we introduce in that bundle fee, so that part of the amount you pay, in that bundle fee, we pay an insurance premium for you. Okay. That insurance premium protects your level of income for a certain period of time.
Okay.
So what happens is that if you receive a consistent income of 100 or 200,000, we guarantee that should that income be lost, so either your business is closed or you are unemployed, okay, that we will continue to pay that amount for a certain period of time, mostly between 6 to 9 months, while you are trying to get yourself up. So that is income protect.
So that amount, if we've determined that my income is 100,000 shillings a month, should I lose that income for the next 6 to 9 months, I will get 100,000 shillings every month.
Every month.
Because of this. So it will be deposited into my account.
It will be deposited into your account.
Right.
But what did you pay to get there?
You paid from a bundled point of view 2,000 shillings. Okay. In that 2,000 shillings, there's a component that's the insurance. That 2,000 shillings also serves other things. It allows
so 2,000 is like the monthly.
This is the monthly
bundled charge.
Okay. Oh. But in that charge, we've actually taken some piece and insured your income.
How long have you got to pay this in order for you to then have access to?
So for as long as you have the account, you continue to pay that 2,000 shillings on a monthly basis.
Start this month, lose the job next month, you're sorted?
You're sorted.
Okay.
And you have to have an account. Okay, what sort of account do you need to have in order to enjoy this protection?
So we provide we provide different solutions for our customers. This particular one would require a private banking bundled account. Okay, so that bundled account you need to pay a certain amount that gives you some transactions for free. So ATM transactions, some particular transactions for free. Withdrawals, you do some for free. There are some of our customers who would then say, no, we want to pay every time I withdraw an amount, I need to pay. So that's also an option. For this particular one, you have to pay a bundled account. The charge for that account is 2,000 shillings.
Now, bundle account, let me understand. Bundle account means I'll be in private banking.
Yes.
Okay. I want us to talk amounts. What is the minimum amount that I need to have in order to be in private banking, to have a personal,
a world-class trusted advisor?
Okay. How much money do I need to have, to open the account, and do I constantly need to replenish that account with for me to have such an account?
Okay. So for the clients who are within the stream for private banking, we start with clients who have incomes of about 150,000 per month, going up. We then graduate them into incomes of 450,000 a month, going up. If you have more than that, we introduce you to wealth. So if you do have investable assets of $1 million and above.
$1 million what?
$1 million and above. We do have specific solutions for you to assist you manage your wealth. But if you have incomes of 150,000 and above, welcome to private banking.
So what's the difference between the 150K and the 450K?
So the 150, if you look at the nature of a client of 150, you're probably in your firsts. You're probably starting your first. My first home, my first car, my first piece of land. If you are at 450, you're probably doing your second, third. So quite some different need. And actually, if you are in your 450, you're also doing a little bit of travel. So we also want to say, how do we make your experiences the memorable experiences you need to have?
Okay, sounds good. Let's take a break. 27 minutes to 8. Our guest this morning is Abraham Ogenge. He's the head of personal and private banking at Stanbic Bank, Kenya. We are talking about legacy planning, wealth transfer, and exclusive banking solutions. We've just been getting to understand about the private banking account that Stanbic Bank offers. Very, very good deals that here you get, and very good solutions and very good attention that you get from world-class
Trusted
advisors. World class because they're certified, because they actually can show you, I went and trained on these matters. 1, 2, 3. All right. So we'll talk about that a little bit more as we come back after this break. And as we go into the break as well, remember the thing that we talk about. Stanbic is regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya. Let's talk about insurance that's regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority. And this is Taifa Pension Fund.
Well done.
Just go to their website and find out a little bit more. taifapensionfund.com.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to